Good, Jenny. Do it. Do it.
Ooh.
Oh, nicely done.
We made. Is that the first time
Yeah.
That's the first hole, yeah,
on the channel?
for sure. All are fitting.
Wow. Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel for a very special Father's Day edition, Michael.
Be good. Yeah, happy Father's Day to everyone out there.
To
all
the
the
fathers.
dads.
Yep, everyone out there doing a great job. So we have father-daughter combination today, all the way from Massachusetts. I feel like all of our visitors
I know.
coming in from the Boston area right now. We have the Walsh family, Tom and Jenny. How are you both?
Great. How are you?
Great.
Good. Thank you for joining us, coming all this way. We've just been sort of getting to know you a little bit off camera, getting to hear about the family rivalry. Here there is one,
just a
fairly
little.
healthy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about both your golfing games. Jenny, let's start with you.
So I've been golfing since I was about 7 years old, and then more competitively towards high school, I started playing, and then played in college, and just always trying to beat him. I do beat him now, but yeah, he's trying to keep up. It's fun. I'm better, but
On her
So-
good days,
so
on her good
already,
days, she can beat me.
On our day.
On her day.
All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and,
Tell us a little bit about your game.
I started golfing when I was younger. Took a long time off until the kids started playing.
Right.
And then just being around the course, I picked it up again probably, 7 or 8 years ago. Been working hard at it. Now that I've stopped paying for all her golf stuff, I've gotten to take a few lessons, and things are starting to move in the right direction.
Love it.
Nice.
What is this? What's this Walsh Open?
Every year, sometime around September timeframe.
yeah, we try to choose something like closer to like the British Open sort of weather. Weather, where it's kind of cold, and we go out and play. We try to do a neutral course for both of us, and then go out there and we play. Whoever has the best score at the end of the day wins. Usually you pay for dinner, but he usually pays because I'm poor.
And it's the home course. She plays every day at the home course, so I need a neutral course. I need a little
I
help.
like it.
Who's the current title holder?
Me? Yep.
I think I have more overall, but she got the last one.
You ever have a rivalry in the house with your dad?
No.
My dad and I were too competitive to have a rivalry. It was more just,
Yeah, we would just argue.
yeah, we would just argue. I know. No.
Oh, that happens.
Love to see it. So, guys, we're going to do a fitting of your choice with both of you. Jenny, you've selected wedges.
Yep.
You want to look at that. You're pretty happy. You've got some Mizuno irons, some Hot Metal Pros. You've got Pingwoods.
Pingwoods and driver.
Pingwoods and driver. So you've got some Callaway. What do we have, Mikey? Some
Jaws.
Jaws?
Yeah. Jaws raw.
Okay, some black Jaws Raw wedges, 58, 54, and then a gap wedge to the set. Is that
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll look at those, which I think will be great. It's been a while since we've done a wedge fit on the channel. Tom, your choice of fitting?
I don't know, the top of my bag, maybe the 3-wood or the
Okay.
irons, either or.
Yeah, have a little look at. Yeah, you mentioned your irons. You feel maybe going a little bit high, and 3-wood maybe going a little bit low. So
Yeah.
some settings and some
There's
adjustments to be
something
made.
amiss at the top of my bag.
Okay. I feel like we could be open to a bribe here. I mean, we're not that far away from the Walsh Open.
know,
I mean, we
no
could
kidding.
really influence the performance of one of the family members here.
Make these wedges 5 flat. No
I know,
chance.
I know.
Irons go even higher.
But just saying, we're open to bribes. Okay, Jenny, let's get you set up.
right.
Get you loosened off. Why don't we pitch in a few to start with that? In fact, no, let's go pitch and wedge to start with. And Jenny, you just mentioned off camera, you've just got finished school, you just graduated, so you're kind of getting back into the golf sort of, flow now. You're playing
Yeah.
a little bit more again.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to play at least a few times a week. Obviously, when I don't have lessons and stuff like that, I try and get out in between.
And you're pursuing a teaching sort of career at the minute?
So I've started the process of kind of getting my PJ teaching card.
Awesome.
I have
cool.
passed the PAT with an alternate score from my college.
Yeah.
So I just need to take the classes, and then I'll be level 1.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
That's exciting.
gonna be right.
So what's the best part of your game?
I would say my driver,
Okay.
100%. Wedges have been a point of issue recently. I'm actually kind of scared of my 54 and 58. They've been, so.
Is it contact? Is it turf conditions? Are you sort of getting sort of strikes that you don't like? What's going on?
I'd like to be able to have a little bit more spin
Yeah.
when hitting into greens, so.
Nice. One more.
Toey.
Yeah, they're kind of living a little bit in that toe section, maybe a little bit low in the toe.
Yeah.
That little quadrant down in there. Dynamic lie angle's a little bit down as well. One of the tricky things with dynamic lie angle is when we have it a little bit toe down, but we also have a bit of a left miss in there, it becomes tricky because we can help the lie angle, but it'll make the shot worse. So we're you know, it's a trade-off that probably isn't worth having right now.
Yeah.
Is to make the shot worse just to get a smoother divot.
Yeah.
Did you have any adjustments made to the irons when you got these? Were they flatter? Were they
I believe they
Just
were
a
just standard.
standard? All right, let's pop into your gap wedge now. I think for us as fitters, Jenny, when we see what we see up there on the screen, and obviously we're trying to kind of make sense of the delivery and why we have the strike where we have it, why we have things like the dynamic lie angle where we have it. It's important, and you'll know this, you know, as it's your sort of new field you're moving into. We need to understand that from a technical standpoint. So what I could see down the line was the face a little bit shut.
Yeah.
Right, so if and I came this side to try and get a look at the grip, so I can see sort of rehearsing the first part of the takeaway. So if that grip gets a little bit shut, one of the things that come in, if we have a little bit of a shut face, one of the ways a good player combats that is by doing that, right? So that's your sort of default move at the minute is the handles coming up, and that's what's causing the dynamic loft to be down. So it's kind of a little bit of where that face is. A great thing, like you said, for the driver, for the longer clubs, for the clubs that we want a little bit of a shallower angle of attack for, but you lose a little something in performance in this part of the bag. So I'm glad we're looking at that with you today.
My club face has always been shut.
A little bit,
Yeah.
I think when you're playing the game from 7 years old,
Yeah.
and you're trying to support the club some way, somehow, get some distance, and
Yeah.
it's absolutely inevitable you're going to play with a slightly shut club face. Yeah, so I can see like a little bit easier from face on. Can see where that left hand gets to a little bit, and so that's good to have that context.
Pretty good.
That felt stronger in the strike there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So so we've got a little look at what the long part of the wedges looks like now. Actually going to miss out the 54. I'm going to go to the shortest yardage we're going to look at, which is 50 yards and the 58.
Yeah, this usually just comes out for bunker shots
Okay.
because I just don't have that much faith in it. So, but we'll see.
And what is the repertoire around the greens? What do you like to do?
Usually I do like a little low and have it run out.
Yeah.
I can play the little pop it up. It's just I prefer the little lower one. It's a little bit safer and reliable.
You only really do it when you have to, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see some 50-yard little half swings here. I was going to say it sounded like a nicer strike, that one actually. Yeah, Jenny, sounded like you clipped that one away a little bit more.
Yeah.
On the face.
You know what I loved about that one there, Jenny? Like there was more certainty about sort of what you were doing with that, which was it looked like you were trying to sort of hit down a bit more in that one.
Yeah.
Some of the ones before that, you could hear kind of a little bit of the low point before. So look at the difference when you get that good strike. We get a lower launch angle. So we're down at 29.4. Spin rate went up to 7,000, and you hit it right on our 50 number. And then if we look at the delivery, it was almost double in the downward angle of attack. So I think that is the formula for us giving you some confidence with the wedges, is giving you maybe even a little bit more loft, and then the right grind under the loft to support the strike, but having something that you can feel you can actually maybe move the ball back in stance. It's very popular right now to use the bounce and slide, but if you're not comfortable with that, you know, we want your sort of chance of success to go up. We don't want you sort of trying to do something just because that's, you know, what we see some people have success with. So let's hit a couple more just like that.
Alrighty.
You try to strike down on it a little. Strike. Really nice. So that is the window right there as well. Just
Dynamics better too.
yeah, so good. Yep, that was okay. Got away with that one.
Little.
Touch high in the face. Okay. Tell us a little bit about turf conditions at where you play back home.
So the course had gone through a real rough patch, but it's in good shape now.
Yeah.
It's hilly. The rough was insane for a little bit, like 4 inches high.
Yeah, just
And I was like, okay, this is impossible.
Yeah.
Couldn't find my ball. They cut it, and now it's playing well.
Around the greens, fairly tight.
Yeah, around the greens with like fairways and stuff, tight, and then rough, they left deep.
Okay. More parkland kind of style, of course. So like a pretty, pretty green, pretty lush. Okay. Awesome. Okay. You've got 10 degrees of bounce in your 58, right? On that one?
Yep.
Okay. All right, Jenny. First choice, we're going to have a look at if we do lean into this sort of allowing you to hit down a little bit more, but giving you more support under it. I want to lean into a little bit more bounce and a slightly different grind on the SM10 D grind. So 2 degrees more bounce and a little bit more relief in the back. So let's hit a couple with this. Better sound and contact there, Jenny.
Yep.
Yeah.
That I get.
Better.
Using the bounce a bit more.
A little bit. Just you need to hear those last two were
Yeah.
so much better. Okay. So I had you in there in a 60 degree just to see if having a little bit more loft would allow you to sort of lean the shaft a little bit more and be a little bit more sort of trusting in that you can hit down on it and still get plenty of height. I'm actually going to go back to 58. I just want to see if you do deliver that better. I've given you actually more bounce here.
A little heavy, but got away with it.
Strike in a wee bit.
Yeah.
That actually came out quite nice, that one.
That one felt good.
Bends
Yeah,
up.
I was going to say, really good on the strike there. Jenny, just give yourself like a little more sort of speed through the strike and a little more aggression just to fly it all the way to the flag.
Alrighty.
That last one feel pretty good there, Jenny?
Yeah. Much better, actually hitting the ball.
Yeah, that little bit of speed makes just like the snappiness to your strike. Having just a bit more speed. I think a big part of wedge fitting, Jenny, is like sound of strike for a fitter.
Yeah.
So I'm really focused on like what's going on at the front of the wedge. If if you look at your 58, so you've got a little bit of the pre-worn leading edge, a little grind on there, and then it's very subtle at the back. I've grabbed you the 58X, which has a much, much higher sort of, it's got the pre-worn leading edge as well, but the bounce gets moved right into the middle of the sole and actually should be able to use that to keep the strike down. Sometimes we're seeing strikes pop a little high in the head, and those ones come out a bit dead, and that's a bit more like the sole in your 54. So let's swap you into that one. It was really close.
That one was good.
Yep.
Felt pretty good.
Good strike. Jenny, just open the face just a fraction for me. It'll expose a little bit more bounce and get that start line to be a little bit more online.
Better sounding strike.
Yep.
Yeah, a little lower.
I mean, it's very small margins, but we're kind of moving it into a slightly better zone. We're tightening things up a little bit. I think we're starting to see more consistency in the spin. We'll see that through the standard deviation and obviously through the slightly smaller dispersion pattern. We're seeing you hit your number way more often now, which is nice. But again, we're probably mindful that you're not going to play this club until you get really close to the green and stuff like that as well. But I'm kind of just trying to build in a grind to your delivery type right at the minute, right? So give me 2 more with this one.
Alrighty.
Beautiful. That was such a good strike. Love that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Just creeps in from time to time, doesn't it? Just the shallowness to the strike. Like you've actually got a lovely, you've got lovely pitching action in that you sort of take it back and then you shallow it really nicely. It's got a bit of not a loop, but it's got a bit of kind of transition to it, which is good. If you see early on with the club path, it was actually getting a little bit more sort of out to in and certainly higher numbers and shallow. So that's where we were seeing sort of like the out to in path, probably weight actually been stuck a little bit in your back foot. Now it seems like your weight a little bit more forward and driving the club into the ground more with a more neutral delivery like that one. That's really nice to see. Okay, give me one more, but I'm happier having you with extra bounce and that slightly open facet setup. That's the sound.
Cleaner.
That is the sound. Spin goes way up. Strike now living in the perfect spot. Dynamically, you're really, really good. 1 degree upright, as we said, Mikey. But yeah, that's the sound.
Earlier on in the comparison, that standard deviation of spin so much more consistent. So you're looking for a bit more spin, like you said. You're going to get it with, obviously, the more bounce, that grind. It's good.
Yeah, excellent. Good. Okay, let's see you hit some with your 54. And we'll start with the same. Why don't we start with the same shot, and then we'll go up to 75 yards.
Alrighty. Breathe in.
Yeah, I really like your delivery with this one. Like I can see the shot that you described earlier to us, that you kind of play it just to kind of run out a little bit.
This is...
yeah, and your control of the strike around the sweet spot is really, really good. Yeah, and it just, like we're trying to just build you, or help you get into wedges that just give you options. So here you've obviously got more launch, more spin, a little more stopping power if you want to throw it, or maybe there's a front pin that you have to stop it a little quicker. And then, middle to back pin, obviously 54 is just going to release out a little bit better for you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go up to 75 yards.
Ready? This used to be up there, one of my favorite clubs, and then something squirrely happened, and I lost faith, and when you lose faith in lessons, nothing good happens.
Yeah. With the 54, just because we're playing a longer shot, do me a favor. just flip your stance. You're slightly open with your setup.
Close it a little bit.
Just, yeah, a little bit. Just close your setup off a little bit. Just go as if you want to actually slightly have a draw stance. That should adjust your path a little bit. Just think if we can change as few things as possible, and stance being one of the easier ones, by just changing your setup, get that path to just get a little more neutral. If anything, honestly, even see it go slightly more into out.
Yeah.
And that should help shallow out the strike a little bit. Good. Love that sound.
Better strike.
Nice. Good, Jenny. Do it. Do it.
Ooh.
Oh, nicely done.
We made. Is that the first time
Yeah.
That's the first hole, yeah,
on the channel?
for sure. All are fitting.
Wow. That's worth a replay. There's a formula, like there is, to be honest, with most people, Jenny, there's a bit of a formula to your delivery. And when you get it a certain way, it really ups your chances of a successful shot. So you've gotten a little bit steeper. Normally your strike gets better. As you get a little more neutral in the path, the strike moves in towards the center a little bit more. All things we want. I mean, that was literally, obviously the perfect shot went in, but it was the perfect strike. Just slightly below the red line, we call that the CG line, you're going to get that really nice driven forward flight, lots of spin on it. I mean, 8,000 spin on a shot that length is really, really good. That was a perfect shot.
Thank you.
I really like your 54 as it is, to be honest.
10 degrees is
yeah,
pretty simple.
I think that's
Neutral.
good. I think that's really, really good as it is. And then we just, add in the additional bounce to the 58 that gives you that little bit of like play as well. So with the grind now, you've got sort of what we call a tri-grind. So you've got leading edge on the pre-worn leading edge. You've got the sort of high bounce through the middle of the wedge, and you've got trailing edge relief as well. So in a bunker, you need to open it or tight lies. I think that's a really, really nice option. But I think that those two as a combo is pretty good for you.
Look at all those different shots that you can make
Tons
with
of
all that
shots.
grind.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to sign off any better than holing out, so that's as good as it gets. Great job. Any other questions around your wedges?
No, not really. I mean, can't hit one much better than that
Can't
one.
hit one
So
any better than that, that's for sure.
yeah.
One thing I did want to address with you was sort of shaft weight. So we've tried a few different shaft weights. This one actually I'm really comfortable with. It's 115 grams. The tightest one immediately, and I said to you, like, does it feel heavy? And you went, no, it feels okay. But it is a little bit heavier than I really think, like I would love you to play. You're in a recoil in your irons.
60 grams, 65-ish
Yeah,
grams.
so going up to like 125 grams, the wedges feels like a bit much.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't even honestly mind you playing something even like another 10 grams lighter, like a Nippon Modus 105, something like that. But as long as it's a step up, but not a step too far, that's the most important thing. We made both the wedges 1 degree upright, which I think dynamically the lie angle was perfect.
I know back here we were talking about maybe
length.
a little bit shorter in wedge just to help with that angle of attack.
Yeah, were your irons ever adjusted for length, or they're all just standard?
Always standard.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing that was adjusted was my putter. So
Right.
That's it.
That's the only one. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think having, like we asked you to grip down a little bit, I think that's the one thing with a wedge. It's a bit easier to sort of change the length of the club via obviously your grip position. We'll talk about some stuff with grip options. With the taper, if you are going to go down the grip a little bit more, it might be a good idea to use a grip that doesn't taper as much.
Yeah.
Keep it a little bit wider at the bottom so it doesn't feel like as big of a transition as you go down. But those are all the little subtle details that are sort of important to make the wedges, specific to you. But that was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah. Hole out, finish it.
I tell you what, I mean, you're the cup holder right now in the Walsh Open or the annual Walsh event. But
It's
I think
me.
you may have flexed on Dad just a little bit more there. I mean, how's he gonna come into the bay now after you've just holed one?
He's not. But
He's not. I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. We've been dying to do more fitting content, but not driver content. We're listening, we hear you guys, we get it. You know, fitting roulette, club fitting roulette is chance.
Yeah.
And it's fallen on driver a couple of times. So I was really pleased when Jenny said, I was waiting for her to say, I really want to hit my driver, I've been struggling with it. But she said wedges and it worked out perfectly. So a little bit of a combination of a retrofit in that we loved what Jenny had with her 54. We just thought she needed something a little different with 58. We tried 60, we tried higher bounds, 12 and 14. We tried 10 as well, and we've settled on 58, 12 on the Jaws Raw X grind.
Yeah, that X grind just gives you so much ability to open it, play it around the greens. It's nice.
So we need lots of options. Okay, looking forward to Tom's Fit. Hope you guys are as well. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you again soon.